Hi there and welcome to my channel. This is Kate from the Journal Nest, and as some of you already know, I'm not actually quite in my nest at the moment, so I'm far away from home, but I still have the things that bring me joy with me, which is today my stitching and my crochet, and of course you wonderful people. Welcome to my new subbies, to those of you who have been with me for a while, just basically to everyone, because this is about celebrating the joy that we have in making. And I'm going to start off with a special mention of a treasured maker that I've just come to meet as a result of the Green Door Studios at Robertson in Australia. And I think you all know how much I love a treasure pocket. Well, just the other day, this lovely lady, and I'm going to introduce her to you because she's just starting her own YouTube channel. Her name is Missy Jacobs. I'll link it below. And she also is on Instagram with Missy Made This. She is an incredible creator. She does lots and lots of things. And however, I'm not going to read this out, but she did give me this card as we were on the way to the sewing basket. And as I love to do, there was a treasure inside of it. So I thought I'd share that with you because, you know, it is so special when you get a gift that you don't deserve, but there you are. Thank you, Missy. She crochets incredibly well, but she's bought me this little piece that I would love to use on one of my pieces that I'm working on over here. So I've brought a little bit of home with me. So today is about crocheting and stitching, and we have lots to do. So I'm going to unpack this. First regret, when I travel, I would still like to have a separate pin cushion. So I'm going to turn these little flowers into a pin cushion. You'll see that next time. I've got my fabric roll that's the side of my sewing box. I'm just going to leave that there for the moment. Let's leave the Crochet Queen there. My travel huswif, a bit of crocheting that I want to talk more about and just give you an update. I did say that I like to have multiple projects going, and I love the thing about slow stitching is that you can literally pick up your needle at any point and start adding. So this one has changed since you last saw it, and the main thing is I have combined my love of crochet with my stitch, but most of all I wanted to show you that this is my friend from the Green Door Studios, a different friend to Missy. She made me this little bauble out of threads, and I thought, what a lovely reminder if I keep it on my travel huswif. So she's always with me. Okay, so I crocheted this closure and I attached it to one of the vintage button sheets that I got at the sewing basket sale. So that's what's been added since. And then inside, I have to share with you, Kate could not live. If you've been with my other videos, I was really having difficulty with having this blue vase, and I said I had to resolve it. Well, sometimes the resolution is probably not what you expected, but I'm much happier with it. So I've added this pinky ready print. I've added some more flowers up here and here. I've got a piece to add on there, but in terms of my eye, that's feeling much better. In terms of crocheting, I have added this. You may remember this was just all this beige, brown, what did we discover these were? Coasters for wine glasses. So I really wanted it here for the, well look, there's those buttons. I was talking about them and couldn't find them. For the practicality of putting something here. I'm not 100% happy, satisfied with my needle threader, mainly because it's the wrong color, but I'm still thinking about, but I did have fun with that little velvet ribbon and a bit of stitching. I have taken the needle threader off and I need to do a closure on here, but I suppose my focus today, I want to share a couple of finds that I got, and it relates to this closure. So literally the day before I took off, I went to a different op shop in our area, and they're standing out for me were these two well, there's more, but I only bought these two with me, skeins of the cotton that I've been using in my other crochet videos, but they're variegated. And you know how much I'm in love with variegated cottons and wools to make with at the moment for the bonus, so I couldn't help that. So as a little practice piece, and I'm going to take you a few more stitches ahead today if you want to learn. And I have had a response about let's crochet some prompts together and grow some garments and bags. But this is the effect of using the pink one in here and the yellow one all around. So that's that. So back to the challenge, because we're going to stitch first, but all the time I'm going to be thinking about this. I think I shared that everything's falling out of this. Even when I go like this is too flimsy a material, and this vase needs some work. So I've had the idea of using this variegated wool in an easy crochet stitch that we're going to explore today, and building it up as a little bag within a bag, and maybe a button on the vase so I can enclose things like that are a bit heavier, and then doing something up here. Or alternatively, I could make this a little envelope closure, so I could stitch it on here. In fact, that's starting to make sense with me, and then close it, and it's like an envelope. I don't know yet. I also found this piece with flowers. We really need something down here, but I'm not sure that that's right, but it does match this flower up here. I like to have my diagonals working, and I did like the blue, but I might still be having a trouble with that blue. It's very bright, isn't it? So let's leave that. I'll leave it there. It's like this bag hasn't, this pouch quite hasn't got the balance for me yet with my, look, let's do a quick audition. Quick audition and see what you see me getting these pieces out often. I haven't used them yet. Oh, that's right, I'm also auditioning some things. I have done some things here. Look, this is Kate going all over the place. Since you last saw me, because I had to put that beautiful button there, I've sewed a little bit here and gone round and started to add some little tiny daisies. This is what I love about this. It can look so plain. I'm going to work some stitches on here, and I have, I forgot to tell you that. I have to be true to myself, and I said that I was going to practice some stitches. Now I have to find out, I'm using a sewing book, well, it's stitch book, but I don't know whether I can show those pages on here, whether that's copyright or nothing. So I'm just going to say that on here I have added my practice for colonial knots, and so I've sort of turned that into looking like a little basket. So I raced over that, but that's my idea, to start practicing those. I want to work on some French knots and some seed stitch too. So my gosh, Kate's got lots to do. But to calm myself down from being overly excited, I thought today we might work on the flip here, and I've got this orange cotton out, so we'll do a slow stitch around. And I forgot to tell you about that. I've also used that variegated cotton to make a little, I don't know what you call that, but it's like a crochet flower, and we'll need something else there so that they're in threes. Okay. Whew. I need to draw breath. My jet lag's getting better, but that was a lot of words. So how are you? How's your making going? I know a lot of you are saying that you're finding it so relaxing at the moment to be working on your projects, and I want to say ditto to that. Like, aren't we so lucky, so blessed? And for those who are new, the most reassuring thing I think I do is show you that just this simplicity of going in and out without worrying about the rules at this point is just the reward. So pick up that stitch and thread and get going with me with some running stitch, or if you are someone who's returning to crochet, you might want to have a hook and something that you like close, some thread that you like, as we do a little bit more of that today. And I think I've said before, it's so wonderful to know that many of you, or many of us, let's be a community together, love doing a combination of different making. And not necessarily all sort of handwork in a way. Like, there's a lot of painters and watercolorists and drawers out there. So a bit tough to go through all the layers, so I'll remind myself that I can go and I'm going to try and go a little bit smaller across this middle, just so that there's a contrast with the bigger stitches that my teacher would have said. I'm just going to show you something here. See, whenever I did these stitches, which could have been on the plane, there's a few gaps and they don't look very nice. However, my solution is, when we get to this gap here, that's from that bit of crochet, I need to get rid of that. Let's give joy instead of worrying about it, and let's just stitch a daisy. Just a minute. Can you see that? Yeah. To say, one of the pleasures I really do get out, does that make sense? I can't talk, of course. Jet lag's doing well, but much better, but just please understand. What I was trying to say is I just love the layering impact of this work, and I know that I'm making it up as I go along, and some of you find that maybe a little bit stressful, but I'm trying to think of a saying where it is about the process, isn't it? And for me, it is about the joy of, okay, so here's Kate getting carried away. So I've done one daisy, and because I'm close enough, I'm going to stop that. I like 3. Okay, sorry. See, I just get overwhelmed with joy, and as soon as I start stitching, and you never know where you end up. So bringing some orange onto this outside flap now to start to link all the flowers together. I don't know whether I've mentioned it, but I am really thinking about making myself a glasses case for the the next part of my journey. Oh no, I haven't got enough material. Anyway, that's in my head. I keep envisaging that would be so much fun. I think that's why I've loved the girls' prompt, which is the first one I've ever done, that the things they've made have had a purpose. So out of it, you know, we've got a pouch and okay, it's got multiple pouches, and huswifs and sewing box. Actually, when I think about it, I've got multiple of everything. But sharing it with you does give me the motivation to stay a little bit longer on one project. That's why I'm a bit worried that I'm going to be, no, don't worry about that. I know you'll understand that I couldn't bring my entire nest with me. That's why I do want to go to some shops, thrift shops, and find some fabric or an old flag or a quilt or a, what's that, a feed sack, I think. Now, I know that's, okay, that's, see, this is Kate caught. She needs to, I know what I'll do. I need to not leave that like that, obviously, and I want to do this, but let's do it in a different color. And let's use one of these pearl threads. I think I'm just going to call it pearl. Okay, it's trying to thread it without a threader, so let's save us all time. Yeah, and I think I've got to find a threader that is the right colour to go in my huswif. Sorry, having a real problem with this for some reason. If I'm not in shot with my hands, that's a good thing, because there's a real struggle going on. But now we're okay. Okay, so we're going to work on sewing this down, getting rid of that thread, and ending up over there. So let's start here. And just pull that through, because there's plenty of lining in between. Yep. And let's do a whippy stitch. Really to just get in the top of these. That's it. Crochet hook, everything gets hooked with me. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have my stitching with me in this unexpected layover. It's certainly feeling like a blessing in disguise. And I can just stitch away and talk to you. So I suppose the thing I am enjoying is this contrast of how so we use our old doilies, most of us, and we particularly like the crochet pieces, but you know, if you can do some basic stitches yourself, you can also just whip up some of your own things. Please don't knot, and add them where you want. Why is that happen now? There we are, it's gone. Isn't it funny how that happens? So where was I? Oh, I was talking about this crochet. Look at that. You know, I just have to say that gives me joy, because I've got the circle, and then now that it's flat, it's adding even more texture, and I've got these little stitches through it that are not in no way perfect, but you can see them, and I suppose that's nearly lost my thread. I'm getting too excited and it's probably too long. Please don't do this to me all the time. It's okay, it just waves her fingers and thinks it's going to disappear. And if it doesn't disappear, what will I do? I'm already thinking, could this be a petal? That one looks like a big one. Okay, so I'm going to cheat everyone. Don't watch. If you're a great sewer, I'm going to just try and tuck that under the crochet and then put a daisy or something over it, and we'll go from there. Because I hate, so naughty, I hate changing needles. Okay, let's go back. See what we can do with this. Let's get creative. It does look like one of my loopy chain stitch daisies, so let's make one like that. Then over the top of the knot, let's think, Kate. I'll go in above it, and yeah, and then anchor both down. And then over here, and I need to get to the center. So this is going to be half an orange daisy and half a pink one. And we'll anchor that stitch down at the same time. It's certainly not a perfect shape, but in my naive style, I think we can make that work. Go over the top of that again. Get it in the middle of the chain. No, I didn't, because I need to be, I forget this about petals sometimes. You have to go from the center for the chain. Anyway, it just makes it a thicker flower. Take that. Oh. And one more petal. this out. Okay. Oh, and I'm coming. Look at that. This is fun. I didn't want to waste that thread, so let's just put her on the other side. Just thinking about how many of us have projects to share with others, and how I was encouraged to get on YouTube and just be me. That's the word, isn't it? Just do you. And that's why I'm so excited for Missy, because she is fantastic. And I'm so happy for her. Okay, right. My needles come out. I'm going to leave that because I want to do some work on our crochet. So just by way of so there's that little crochet ring. Now I think I showed that to you last time. That's just some chain and some double crochets round and round, but in the variegated it makes a difference. For the wrap I actually got the pink and the orange and crochet the chain with them together. Simple as that. And I don't count the stitches. I just literally chain and chain and chain, knowing that I need to go down once, and then I like having a little dangle there. Oh gosh, I've taken the whole table with me in my excitement. Oh, there's Crochet Queen. And then I'm thinking I might put that inside Missy. We will see. Okay, so back to some crochet. Because we've done chain and double crochet a couple of times, I'm going to pull this out now. And I'm undoing some threads at the same time. Okay, let me just fix this up and then I'll explain and show you what I'm doing. And again, unpicking in crochet, and I'm on a bigger needle this time, so it's going to nip crochet up faster for me. Do you remember what stitch I'm doing? Okay. It's funny when I go from stitching to crocheting, it's the hand position and okay. All right, so this is the first time you're going to see me do something in a row, because as I said, I'm thinking about an envelope in here or a little pocket. So this, I'm going to bring it up really closely for you, is one of the easiest way to make crochet fabric really quickly, and I think the style of this stitch is going to go well with my stitching. Previously we have talked about granny squares. This one is a ring of double crochets, and then I've used treble. So treble is the stitch that we're going to do today together, or maybe you already know it, but if you're following along, because it's the next set of loops, if you like, after the double crochet. There's plenty of how-tos out there, but I just will take you through it. So I'm at the end of my first row. I'm going to do 3 chain, and we know chain is just through the loop, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to turn around and we're going to come back this other way. So those 3 chain count as a what am I trying to say? As a treble. Okay, here we go. We're going to make a treble together. So as I've said before with crochet, it's the easiest. It's because it's all about the loops. You've got a loop there, and we're going to loop it round the hook. We've got 2 loops there. Then we're going to go into this hole, and then we're going to make a loop and pull it through. And this is where the fun begins. You've got 3 loops on your hook, and we're going to put the yarn over and go through 2 of them, leaving 2, and then through the remaining 2. So we've made a treble stitch. Now we're going to do 1 chain because that makes the gap, and we're going to come into this gap here and do it all again. So round the loop, in the gap, pull, and you've got 3. Now if we were making double crochet, we'd just go through all 3 of them, but this time with treble, much more fun. 2 and then 2. So there we are. Let's keep going for a while. So a chain to make it distant to get over to that loop. So loop, in, loop, pull it back, you've got 3, now you've got 2, and now you've got 2. Then we're going to do a chain. I'll be quiet for a little while and just let you do your thing, but I'll go slow. And you can see easily how we're building it, like a brick wall in a way. Chain. Now I'm going to do some fast just so that we get to the other end. Now you could be doing this with wool or anything that you want. I'm liking the cotton with my slow stitching because, well, it's sort of the link, isn't it? The cotton and the cotton. Okay, and when we come to the end, I'm just going to do it into the same treble. And there we are. So we've already got 2 rows. I'm thinking we probably, if I'm going to make an envelope, I'd probably tear it down like that. So for today, let's just keep doing it as a square, and I'll show you how fast if you're stitching away. Oh, there's another siren. So always at the end, 3 chain, because that represents the 3 trebles. The 3 sort of steps of building a treble. I always think of it alphabetically when I crochet. So quick refresher, and then we'll speed along. So 1 loop through the gap, pull it through, you've got 3, and then it's 2, 2. 1 in, 1 through, 2 and 2. And then, oh, but see, I forgot. I was so showing off, wasn't I? Apologies. I forgot to do my chain. And see, with crochet you can immediately tell because that was diagonal. So you just pull it undone, literally half a second, put the chain in, and here we go again. And I am loving this variegated cotton. What? Cotton. Fog in my brain. have to tell you, it's quite hot here. Went for a walk and the humidity really struck me because I haven't, well, as you know, in Australia we're going into winter. I said I was going to do something else with this, didn't I? Oh, I'm going to do some more stitching. So see, I just get carried away with the love of doing this. Let's see if I can quickly do, yeah, I need 2 more rows. Can you wait with me? And then I can show you how effective it can be, and we might put a little button or something. Truly, like how fast, I mean, we knit as well, many of us, and I love doing that too, but I suppose what I'm trying to say is if you're adding crochet to your slow stitch, this is just so much fun. You can sort of use your eye to measure. I was going to put this piece down here because you might be getting bored. Oh, what's in there? A pin. Because this beautiful, beautiful work is exactly the same thing as what I'm doing, but it's in the fine crochet cotton. So these are trebles and they've got a chain in them, and then to make the pattern we stop the gaps and just go all in a line. So again, if you haven't got access to that, you can make your own effect if you want. And at the end, we're just going right to the end. 3 chains. And she's probably going to need a few more rows, so I'm going to leave that for the moment. And because I don't want you to get bored, and I did want to practice some of my new stitches, that's right. So let's get some wool. This wool here, I think this is okay. I might go back and put knots in the centers there, but seeing we've got a little area up here that's developing as part of the garden, I won't do it too long because the wool gets a bit knotted. Let's thread my needle. You have to be careful with the wool. So it's, I don't know what I've done. I've got a tangle, of course I have. Look at this, everyone. I've actually managed, how could a person do that? I had the threads both ways in the needle. Okay, so we're going to go from our treble stitch and our granny square to doing some colonial knots. Now, I think I've shared before, I am a visual learner, I've realized. Let's start over here in this little flower. Actually, I'll run it through because I don't want it to show on the other side. So I've looked and read the instructions, and then I have to sort of translate it into mine. And again, admitting to everyone out there who's a seasoned, experienced stitcher, I'm just coming back to these stitches, and in fact I don't think I ever did a colonial knot. So my way of working it out is we have to get, and see, this is why I'm still a beginner, but I am having fun with it. I'll just make sure that this one's going to work before I tell you what I'm going to do. Yeah, there it did. Look at that little flower, it's got a center now. That makes me happy. But I want to do some others. Actually, why don't we make our way over there and we might do some in the centers there. So, in the book, it looks like this. Put the needle, there's your thread coming out, needle underneath, and wrap it round. And then you go also around the needle at the front, and then you take it through the exact place. That's not technical in any way, but isn't it cute? And I think you can get the thickness, you can pull it tight or not. So this is me. I have to just always remember, in my head I'm going right over the needle and right again in front and then down. So I suppose it's almost like a figure 8. Okay. Let's go over to this very, whatever way we want to describe that crazy flower I did. So right over the needle and right over the needle again in front and down. Yep. So it's about the texture that we're adding. Let's come over here. Over the needle, and then over the needle again, and then down. I'm not sure if these are sort of like large French knots or not, but anyway, you will soon see French knots, I'm thinking. So right over there, right again, and in. And I love that the wool, you know, just adds that texture. I could pull that tighter, or pull it in, and let's go up here to the center. So over. See, the more I'm doing it, it's becoming a little bit more natural under my fingers. How long does it take you to get used to things? Because for me, that's what it's all about. Now let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. I like my odd numbers. 2 more. So if you're doing it with me, how are you going? Yeah. And then 1 more up here. Not in a straight row, because I like this, like the row of flowers. So over, what you watch, the last one will, no, it's going to be okay. Come in here. There we go. So we've got this idea now of, can you see that? This isn't stitched down, this bluebell. It's looking a bit standy out here, but we'll work out what we're doing there. And you know what? Time has flown so fast that I think I probably should leave you to get on with your things. So let's do a recap. So Travel Huswif has had a little bit more work, had a closure, crocheted wrap with a thread ball dangle there. Love the feel of that. On the outside, we have stitched down this crocheted piece and added the little, I'm going to call it round thing. In here, we were celebrating that this is taking shape, that I've got more work to do up there, and this one will probably turn pink and orange before the next time you see it. And to resolve this bit here, we've been working on how to make fabric out of crochet. You know, maybe this might have been better pink, who knows. But for now, I want to say thank you so much for sharing my joy with me today, and may you enjoy all the things that you're working on at the moment. This is Kate saying bye for now. See you next time.